new day. Celebrate life. Yeah. And you don't stop, and it won't stop. It goes on and on, it goes on and on. Yeah. Andre Durrell, you walk this kid forward. Mano, Billy Dib, kid, let's get to it. That's the message, boys.
Introducing to you first the challenger, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing white trunks with multicolored trim and weighed in at 125 pounds. Fighting out of Oxnard, California, by way of Egrim, Russia, he is undefeated with 15 wins, and 8 of his wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Evgeny, the Mexican-Russian Gradovich. And his opponent across the ring, the defending champion, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing green trunks with white and red, and weighed in exactly the same as his opponent, 125 pounds. Hailing from Sydney, Australia, his professional record consists of 35 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 no contest, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending IBF featherweight champion of the world, Billy the Kid Dib.
All right, man. I got this. Yeah, I got it.
Let's bring him in.
All right, gentlemen, clear the ring.
Eddie Claudio will be our referee for this IBF title fight.
1 second. 1 second for the Billy camp. Okay.
Billy.
Let's go, Billy, Billy.
As Curtis Jackson and the entourage take just a little bit to exit stage left.
Okay, gentlemen, the trunks, the line is going to be, you're going to pull it down. If you want to pull it down, okay, that's the line. Your line is right here, okay? You got that? Okay, gentlemen, you receive your instruction. Going for the IBF featherweight title is on the line, okay? I expect a good, clean fight, nothing less, okay? Respect my commands at all times. Most importantly, protect yourselves at all times. At this time, I want you to touch up. Let's get popping.
By the way, Gradovich doesn't expect a good, clean fight. He told us pre-fight, not a lot of respect for some aspects of the game of Billy Dib, says he's a dirty fighter. And of course, early in his career, carrying the label of being a runner. But as 50 Cent saying, it's a new day, recently there have been new days as Dib, the champion, has shown himself to be more aggressive. That's what he's working on. IBF featherweight title on the line. We're underway round 1.
Well, let me chronicle for you some of the reasons why Gradovich's manager said that Dib is a dirty fighter. Dib has had points deducted, penalized for low blows, holding and hitting. He's been warned for headbutting, low blows, and punching on the break. So there is a reason of some evidence in the history of Dib with his actions in the ring that Gradovich's manager had those concerns. Dib has come out the worst of it though sometimes with that headbutting, being a billy goat a little bit inside. You know, he's been involved in a technical decision because of head clashes, and he's been cut over his left eye and his right eye in his last fight. So even though he gets in there with his head dip a little bit, I don't know if it's on purpose or by accident, but he's gotten the worst of it sometimes with that. Also, Dib likes to switch, hasn't done it yet, but he's orthodox now. He has no problem going lefty.
There was a lead right uppercut from Billy Dib thrown there moments ago.
Remember, this fight taken on short notice, only about a month for Gradovich. You know, they say they're ready, but Gradovich himself admitted he wasn't training much when he got the call. Was actually coming off a vacation, a little rest period over in Russia. So we'll see what kind of real condition Gradovich is in.
Found out about this world title shot in early February. Louis Franco withdrew And the call came in, and even though he's ahead of schedule, just 15-0, a 3-year prospect, number 11 in the IBF, he takes the title challenge. Try to make the most of the opportunity here against Dib.
You know, Joe, for me, as a trainer, I wouldn't be just worried about the physical condition of Gradovich. That's probably okay, taking it on short notice. I'd be more concerned about the mental condition in his mind going into a title fight, stepping up in class for the first time. Maybe not having the confidence. There's a little headbutting in there by Dib there, and that's why the manager of Gradovich was worried about some dirty tactics by Dib. But I'd be more concerned about the mental condition of Gradovich, knowing that he didn't have full time. Is he mentally confident? Is he mentally in top shape going into the biggest fight of his life?
Prior to that Billy goading on the inside, Dib came forward and scored, but then Gradovich also landed a right hand here in the final half minute of this first round. Once again, we invite you to go to Facebook, the Friday Night Fight page, and score along. Live scoring, you the fan, will update you all night long. Stay with us, more of the title fight to come.
You know, forget about the physical condition of the challenger Gradovich. I worry about his mental condition now. There's Dib working a little bit on the inside, and watch the grabbing by Gradovich. You know, I wonder about the confidence level early in this fight. And right there, you could see a little bit, well, let me grab, I'm not so sure myself. That's what I would be concerned about early on. It could wear off after 2 or 3 rounds. He can start to get confidence, but early on, big advantage, I think, for the champion Dib, if he pushes the envelope a little.
Good exchange to open up this second round. IBF title on the line at 126 pounds. Gradovich, the title challenger from Siberia, who trains out of California and has really immersed himself in the Mexican-American fight culture of Southern California, trained by Robert Garcia.
You know, I think there could be a little danger in this fight. I know it's very early for me to say that, but could be a little danger in this fight for Dib.
How so?
Well, could be a little overconfident, taking a guy that's really never been in any tough fights yet. I mean, Gradovich, all his fights have been in the West and Southwest.
This is way ahead of schedule for
Yeah,
Gradovich.
definitely. First fight on the East Coast. His people know it. You know, the opportunity came up and they grabbed it. Now, people say, Teddy, why'd they grab it? Well, they don't think Dib is a killer. You know, they don't think he's Godzilla. They think out of all the champs out there, they'd have a chance maybe with him better than with some of the other guys, and they figure, well, if we wait to the right time, we might not get a chance. That right time might never come. So they figure maybe this is the right time. Even though it's early in the schedule, they're grabbing it. Like I said earlier, seeing if they could catch lightning in a bottle. But Gradovich is a game guy, a lot of amateur fights. He's got that pedigree, he's got that confidence from the amateurs. If he can get through the first early 3 or 4 rounds, gain a little confidence, Dib can have a tougher fight than he expected. Well, than he might have expected.
Dib, a 35-win veteran, based out of Australia, the son of a Lebanese immigrant to Australia. Dib grew up with 7 siblings. They all worked in his father's tiny corner store. He was the only boxer among the 6 brothers.
You know, I talked about Gradovich, his first fight, this fight on the East Coast, first time in his career. Most of the fights for Dib have been in Australia. His only loss was outside of his home country. It was here in the United States.
That was back in 2008. A very lackluster effort on that night. And he references that often. He knows he wants to and has to redeem himself. Be a little more fan-friendly.
Well, the big advantage so far for Dib is that he's just a little more versatile, a little bit more dimensional. You know, he can move a little bit, he can counterpunch a little bit, he can beat you to the punch. And so far early on, Gradovich, a game guy, looking to come in the front door, a little one-dimensional.
Stern warning from Eddie Claudio to Gradovich there as he was pushing up on the head of Billy Dib. Joe Tessitore ringside with Teddy Atlas, IBF 126-pound belt on the line here. Round 3 between Gradovich and Billy Dib.
Step back, clean, step back, clean.
Let's look at the CompuBox numbers. The last round, the jabs thrown. Dib throwing 44, landing just 23%, but often, as is often the case, just controlling things, pace, tempo, and showing his different disposition with the output.
You know, I like the eagerness. I like the toughness, the attitude of the 26-year-old Gradovich, but what I don't like is he's just reaching in sometimes, just walking in that front door, not behind the jab, coming in a little cold, a little too plain, a little too vanilla, especially with a guy like Dib, who controls range pretty good. That's what he does pretty well. And if he sees you coming in cold and plain, he's got a chance to do what he does, and that's counter.
This is getting out of control. You dealing with my patience, okay? I don't want to take points. If you're going to tell me to take points, I'm going to start doing it, all right? Come here, come here. Let's keep it clean, all right?
I think Eddie Claudio doing a good job of just trying to take control of the situation.
I just wasn't sure who he was talking to.
I think he's talking to both guys. We had the incident in the first round with Dib, and then at the end of the second round with Gradovich, and you know the mindset coming in, as you detailed it very well from the start. There's a right hand from Billy Dib.
And again, the experience and the versatility, I think, of Dib is showing itself. He can move a little bit, he can counter a little bit, he can go in the trenches a little bit that he's doing right now. And again, Gradovich stuck with just one gear, that gear, coming forward. Good counter by Gradovich there. Good right-hand counter by Gradovich a moment ago in between the punches of Dib. And that's what I think Gradovich has on his mind now. Dib's going to come forward. Maybe Gradovich feels he can time him, catch him in between the shots.
And it's a different Billy Dib that American fight fans saw just 4.5 years ago.
I see every once in a while Gradovich will land a nice clean shot, Joe. But I think Dib, for the most part, stealing those rounds, just busy. And there's a cut. It looks like a little, it looks like some blood coming out of the nose now of Dib.
Picked up the pace on the inside here in round number 3.
Well, if the judges weren't sure that Gradovich is landing clean shots every once in a while, the blood in the nose of Dib should alert them to that fact.
Had that nice counter halfway through this round and has had some moments on the inside.
But that's what we talked about, Joe. The early rounds would be tough for Gradovich, and they have been a little tough. But if he gets past them, gain a little confidence, get himself going a little bit, this can be an interesting fight. I think he's getting it going a little, Gradovich.
Nice pace here being set at the end of round number 3. Things getting interesting in this title bout. The entertainer, rapper, actor, entrepreneur, who led the way on the ring walk for Billy Dib, the IBF featherweight champ, who he promotes as well, and is into round number 4 against a feisty Evgeny Gradovich.
You know, I know it's still early, but I see the tables turning a little bit. Gradovich gaining a little confidence. I think it's going to come down to when he does get inside Gradovich, can he work inside or does he get grabbed? Because Dib not afraid to grab you on the inside. I think Dib, whether he means to or not, at least for me, for my eyes, he's showing a little confidence to Gradovich. He's starting to take it outside more and more now, as though he's kind of begrudgingly, you know, saying, okay, I believe in you a little bit. I'm going to take it outside. I'm not going to hang inside with you too much. You've got my respect a little bit. You know, you pointed out to me in between rounds, Joe, that Dib, he'll pose with his punches sometimes. You know, he'll place a punch, he'll place a hand, like a right hand, he'll place it out there. Almost like he's just, you know, measuring a guy.
Yes.
And what he's doing, he's trying to set you up. He's trying to distract you a little bit. And what takes that away from him? Aggression. Because if a guy is just coming in, like Gradovich is doing a little bit, you can't be posing. Because while you're posing, you're going to get caught. And right now, Dib's getting caught a little bit.
Yeah, and Gradovich doing a good job, as he did in the previous round, of punching between the punches of Dib. He's finding success trying to time that.
And a little subtle move there by Gradovich. Made a little circle around Dib, not laying in front. Yeah, the confidence is growing in Gradovich. I see it.
You can see him taking those half steps forward, getting to the inside. There's Dib working to the body, placed a left hand, but then Gradovich comes back and splits the guard. Good action here in the midst of round 4.
Yeah, Gradovich is showing that amateur pedigree that we talked about in the top, that he would have to show if he's going to pull off the upset in only 15 pro fights and win a world title. He's showing that 150 amateur fight background a little bit.
There's some swelling around the left eye of Billy Dib. In fact, it's starting to droop down. Top of the lid there, right around the brow. The swelling has continued here in round number 4.
Talked about Dib in his last fight. He was cut over both eyes.
All right, break. Back up. Hold him. All right, break. Time.
Keep your jab going. Your jab go pumping. Get to the side. You can't keep backing up, but. Left hook, strong outside, man. How much you want this? You prove it in the ring, very cool. You're fighting a guy that's just a walk-up. He's got no defense. Anything, hey, you're not even sitting on anyone. Only sitting, pushing off your back leg. Strong defense, right? If you're going to stay in close, big bleed, stay low.
You know, Joe,
stay low.
Best punch is his right hand. I'm going to tell you right now, he better land one this round because Gradovich is growing right in front of us. He's getting some steam going. And I think it's about time right now that Dib, the champion, this might be unusual to say, usually you're saying this about the challenger, but the champion needs to slow the challenger down a little bit, put him in his place a little bit.
Oh, there's a sharp left hand from the challenger Gradovich.
Yeah, as I said, this challenger's got some steam going. And if Dib can't hurt him this round, and I believe it's got to come this round, Dib's going to have his hands full. He's got his hands full right now. I see some blood dripping on the chest of Dib. I'm wondering where it's coming from.
Tried to come back with a left hook. Did the man they call the Mexican Russian, the 26-year-old who's only 15-0 in his pro career, got this opportunity as really the third choice for Dib to defend his title again. Short notice, found out in early February that he could fight for the title. Here he comes in behind the jab, forcing him into the corner. A right hand reins in from Gradovich.
Gradovich going for the head. Dib doing some good work underneath to the body. Dib's not a bad body puncher.
See blood coming from the nose of the IBF titleist Billy Dib. And now wrestling against those near ropes as Eddie Claudio will look to separate them. Claudio, the referee's had his hands full tonight already.
There's blood on the face of Gradovich. I'm wondering where it's coming from. Is it coming from the nose of Dib, or is it coming from the head area of Gradovich? It might even be his ear, the left ear, because that seems to be the
well, he
spot
reached
where a lot of
to
blood
that left ear, Teddy, after that
again,
big moment.
You know, Joe, Dib is in there with his head, as we said very early on. Gradovich is like a little locomotive here. And Dib would love to get him off the track a little bit.
There's a right hand uppercut to the body from Dib.
So you see Dib hit grab and then
short right hand on the inside from Gradovich, Teddy.
Yeah, Dib would throw nice body shots though in between too.
Come on, guys. Keep working. Keep working. Go hold.
Dib was concentrating on the body, Gradovich on the head.
Good exchange there. Action-packed 5th round. Look at Gradovich trying to finish strong here. Had that big moment early, and he's taking it right to the bell. Oh, this thing's shaping up to be real interesting. Let's go back and show you the left hand by Gradovich early in round 5.
Left hook there, coming right now. And you could see the legs go for a moment of Dib. Let's take another look. Left hook. Nice clean shot, the shoulder behind it. Gradovich, good position there by Gradovich. You know what happened there was Dib made the move to the side. He wasn't set on his feet, but Gradovich was set.
Teddy, you can see just above that left ear, the cut man in the corner of Dib, Ryan Willman. The end swell on the left eye, and you can see the cut is right against the skull above the left ear. And every time that Gradovich goes to the inside and puts his head against that side of Dib's head, that's where the blood is coming on Gradovich.
Yeah, and obviously, we don't have any video proof of it, but we would have to guess, and I think it would be a good guess, that a cut on the head was caused by headbutts.
Don't let him back you up. Come on, go.
Glad you're with us here for this IBF title fight. Joe and Teddy ringside, round 6.
I think this fight's going to come down to two things. It's going to come down to heart. It's going to come down to conditioning. We'll see if Gradovich has that conditioning. They swear that they have, even though they took the fight on short notice. But technical things, neither fighter using their jab much. Anybody uses that jab on the outside, it's there for that fighter to separate himself a little bit. Also, the rest of it on the inside, in the trenches. And Dib can be a little sneaky on the inside, Joe. What he does is, Gradovich doesn't do this. Gradovich just looking to work. But Dib will grab you a little bit on the inside and hope that you relax a little bit. You think, well, there's no work being done now. Then Dib will let go and try to catch you by surprise. You know, he'll grab and he'll go. He'll grab and he'll go.
We were talking about that cut moments ago. Let's find out what Bernardo can update us on. Bernardo.
The referee told the commission that it was caused by an accidental elbow. It's pretty bad on the left side of the head, but cutman Brian Willman is not at all concerned about it. He said that it happened to him a couple of fights ago, and he's having no trouble with it. It just looks bad.
Halfway through round 6.
Let's go, let's go. Punch out, punch out.
Pace continues to be action-packed here. Work on the inside now. Short right hand by Dib. Tried to go to the belt line, came back with a left hook to the body against Gradovich.
You know, no matter what happens the rest of the way here, I'm going to give credit right now to the manager of Gradovich, Igor Klimas, who I happen to know. He's a good man. You don't always get good men in this business, or good managers, good promoters that actually care about the fighters. He does. But I think so far he made the right decision. Even though it was early in the career of Gradovich, you probably would have liked to get another 4 or 5 fights. Definitely would have liked to have full time to prepare, which they didn't have. But again, you could see his reasoning for it. They figured Dib was a guy that they had a chance with. And so far, guess what? They're right.
Tried to target that right hand with him against the ropes that time. Here's Dib putting his punches together, and Gradovich returns fire.
Yeah, that looked like a strength of Gradovich. I see it as a weakness. Because Gradovich will return fire sometimes a little anxiously, Joe. You know, he'll just reach in, he'll start throwing before he's in position where he could be out in space a little, like that, and maybe get caught with a counter.
Right uppercut.
I love a guy to be game and willing, but every once in a while, Gradovich starts those punches like that from a little too far away. They can leave a little hole. Tough round here.
Halfway through our title fight, and perhaps some concern for the support.
Well, let's take a look on the inside here. You see a little bit of holding and hitting. We talked about it on the fight plan. Not exactly what we said, but you could see the possibility here for Dib. Looking to grab a little bit early on in the video. Grabbing a little bit. There you can see him just working on the inside, but early on you saw him put his hand behind the neck of Gradovich and sneak in a quick left hook, but nothing major.
Gradovich coming in on the left hook, right hand. Let's look at Teddy Atlas's scorecard as it stands with 6 rounds complete. Teddy has it 58-57 for the Australian titleist. Even third round by Teddy. Remember, the fifth round was the big left hand by Gradovich.
Yeah, of course. Usually in any kind of fight, especially a competitive fight like this, somebody, and usually that somebody is the challenger, they get a second win. You know, he'll get to a point, a little bit of a wall, and then he'll slow down a little bit, and then all of a sudden, bang, he'll get that second win. Gradovich is looking to get that right now.
Remember, you, the fan at home, can go to Facebook Friday Night Fight page, click on the live scoring, and vote along. And look at the support for the fans at home for the title challenger, Gradovich. 5 rounds to 1, says the fan at home for Evgeny Gradovich.
I guess they're just looking at the straight-ahead aggression. That's what I'm guessing anyway, of Gradovich, because obviously I do not agree with him.
CompuBox sees things this way in terms of total punches. 450 thrown to 420 thrown, but more connects for Gradovich. 135 to 127.
Well, I mentioned that second win theory. It looks like it might be kicking in here a little bit for Gradovich this round. I thought the last round he slowed down a little, but he's speeding it up again this round.
Dib with that cut, quite pronounced now. That red mark above his left ear. Done a decent job with the swelling. There's a lead uppercut, and then Gradovich comes right back with a left hand of his own.
Yeah, good right uppercut by Dib, as you said, but then he posed. He admired his work a little bit. And the price of posing, 2 punches from Gradovich. Can't wait for a recede in this business. You gotta move your head after you punch.
Gradovich scored there with a right hand with Dib up against the ropes. This is an interesting one as we come down the stretch run of this fight with a live dog against the titleist. In Washington, D.C. with Lamont Peterson defending his title against Kendall Holt. Peterson looks so impressive, so sturdy, and with great ring presence. And here at Foxwoods in Connecticut, the Australian Billy Dib comes in with his IBF featherweight title, but the Russian, the man they call the Mexican Russian from Siberia but trains in Southern California, Evgeny Gradovich, is putting on quite an effort.
Watch on the inside, because this fight very well may be decided. It comes down tight, which I have a funny feeling will on the scorecards. It might be decided on the inside. Watch that inside. Who grabs, who punches, who acts like he's grabbing, who lets go, and maybe catches the other guy by surprise. Dib likes to do that.
Dib scored with a right hand moments ago. Both men coming forward, almost a clash of heads there. Once again to the inside. And Claudio will try to clean things up. Point deduction.
Wow.
Critical juncture in this fight. He gave them the warning very, very early on. But here, with Gradovich having found such momentum, and look at the face in the corner of Gradovich, as you could see Robert Garcia in disbelief of the point deduction.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the referee didn't at least say to him, hey, you know, give a little warning again. You know, early in the fight he gave a warning, but let him know now. I mean, many times referees give a couple warnings before they take a point away, not one warning. At least let him know, hey, if you don't stop holding, I'm gonna take a point away. Just to take it away like that and maybe influence this fight the way that may have done. I'm surprised. I'm a little shocked. Oh, now.
Oh, he's gonna even it up, Teddy.
Maybe he hears me talking loud and he's all right, I'm gonna even it up. Because the way I'm looking at it, besides having not given him a warning to Gradovich when he took the point away, but both guys are grabbing. Matter of fact, if anyone grabs a little more, it's probably Dib. But no foul, no harm.
Now here's a stern warning on the break from Claudio.
Yeah, again, if there's any holding on the inside, we've chronicled it early that Dib has been, you know, he's had points taken away in his career for holding. So if anyone's doing a holding on the inside in this fight, to me, it's probably Dib a little bit more.
I love it. We're going to get a rare 9-8 round when you get to point deductions factored in here.
Good right hand
sharp
by Gradovich.
Sure was. Dib off balance.
Nothing fancy by Gradovich. Very determined, very straightforward.
This thing's getting rugged here. Final 15 seconds of round number 8. Point deductions passed out by Eddie Claudio to both fighters. Teddy, I get the sense that referee Eddie Claudio may have come out to make a statement to both guys in that last round. When you look at how the point deductions took place, you don't see necessarily egregious holding here. He had warned them earlier in the night, so he evened it up just about 20 seconds later.
Yeah, I probably agree with you that he did even out. Here's the right hand that might have unevened it a little bit by Gradovich. Good right hand followed by a little bit of left hook. But Dib coming back with his shots, showing you the kind of rounds they've been. Tough, close rounds for the most part.
Good crowd here at the MGM Grand, the theater here at the Foxwoods Resort Casino. Round number 9, 4 to go here with the IBF featherweight belt on the line.
This kind of fight, everything, every little thing can make a difference. Intangible things, tangible things. One of the tangible things maybe can make a difference to look for in another 2 rounds. How many rounds these fighters have been? Gradovich never been into the championship rounds. He's been 10 rounds twice in his career. Dib, he's been 12 rounds to championship distance 4 times. We'll find out down the stretch. And I think this is the kind of fight that's going to be important, because I think it's going to be decided down the stretch, obviously by my scorecard. So maybe that experience, that confidence in the late rounds, we'll see whether or not that carries Dib.
Won the IBF belt back at home in July 2011, has defended it 2 times. But a tough test here against a determined Gradovich, trained by Robert Garcia, the Boxing Writers Association of America Trainer of the Year.
Good right hand again. You know, Dib pulls straight back with that left down, and Gradovich steps in with the right hand.
Keep your hands up, keep your hands up. Let's go.
You know, sometimes you can get away with stepping away. Dib likes to step away, move a little bit, fight with you a little bit, you know, in and out. And you step out, you get away with it. But when you're fighting a guy like Gradovich who's just coming forward, you know, maybe not thinking all the time. I'm not saying he's dumb, but he's far from dumb. He's dumb like a fox. But he's aggressive, he's just coming forward. He's not thinking about anything else, I should say. Just coming in. When you're pulling out, like Dib does, well, it could be the wrong guy to be fighting that way with tonight.
Both men opened up with right hands before tying up again. Remember, point deductions the last round for excessive holding put forth by Eddie Claudio. Got an upset alert there on Teddy's scorecard. Gradovich 76-75. Ringside judges tonight, veterans Don Ackerman, Don Trella, and the world-traveled Glenn Feldman. Feldman has been a part of many title fights. Trella and Ackerman, veterans in this part. This is a solid commission here at Foxwoods.
Well, I tell you, a moment ago, Dib just put the panic light on a little bit, the alert light on. He turned southpaw. That tells me he's concerned. He's looking for something.
3 rounds to go. As we come to the end of round number 9, let's listen in.
Hey, real fight is fight. You're just backing up and hitting you with you're going again to your right and hitting with one hand. Hands up here. Start with the jab, Bill. You got to back him up. But we're going to take the next few rounds, Bill. Yeah. Understand? Stay away from his right by circling to your right with your left hand up. And start with the jab. Start digging. Change levels with the jab. from far. Step in. 12 minutes. He's in trouble and he's fighting well. Jonathan, you see that fear in him? Let's go then, okay? Let's go. He dies. Let's go. Do your work, all right? You know that, right? Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Take a look here. Left jab by both men, but the right hand by one man, Gradovich. You know, Dib set the table with the jab, but he didn't eat. Gradovich, he ate. That was a big pork chop.
Her trainer, Robert Garcia, say to him, 12 minutes, 12 minutes. Well, that finish line would be something special for the guy who's just 15-0 and got a world title fight on short notice.
You know, we talked about the mental states of both fighters. You go into any kind of fight, but a title fight, the mental dimensions. Who has the advantage mentally? We talked about how Dib had some of those advantages, being the champion, knowing that Gradovich took the fight on short notice. Dib knows that he's gone 12 rounds, where of course Gradovich has never gone past 10. But one of the mental advantages we didn't talk about that I think Gradovich has going into this fight is that Dibs' only loss was to Stephen Locano, who at the time was also trained by Robert Garcia, who of course now trains Gradovich. So Garcia, at least in the mind of Gradovich, the challenger, Garcia knows how to beat Gibb. He knew how to beat Gibb going into this fight. That confidence, that belief mentally, maybe right now could be set in the corner, and maybe it's carrying Gradovich a little bit.
See Dib tying up there. There was a short right hand when Dib was bent down moments ago. By the way, you saw CompuBox power punches earlier in this round, a 172 to 126 advantage for Gradovich coming in.
See, Joe, if I'm in the corner, I'm Garcia, I'm whispering that in Gradovich's ear. Maybe I'm not whispering, I might be yelling, saying, see, I had a guy beat this guy before. You're gonna be the second guy that I got beating this guy. You're beating him, you're becoming world champion. That's the mental message, the confidence you want to send to a fighter.
There's Gradovich charging in, Dib able to just get away from that wide sweeping right hand.
I said it early on, Joe, that I thought the champion needed to land the right hand to slow down the challenger. I'm gonna say it again. This challenger really, he's got his mojo going. He's going straight ahead and he's having success. And he's getting more confident and at the right time, because he's about to go into a territory he's never been before, the 11th round. I think if I'm Dib, if I'm in the corner of Dib, I don't know if they're thinking this way, but I tell him, listen, look to catch this kid coming in. Use his aggression against him. He's walking in, he's trying to walk right through you, Gradovich is. But every once in a while, he'll come in a little reckless. Watch Gradovich. He'll just kind of fall in a little bit. If I'm Dib's corner, I'm telling him, look, set yourself and do that. Try to nail him on the way in. Use his aggression against him.
126 belt on the line here, IBF version of featherweight. In terms of the landscape at 126 pounds, so many people talking about Mikey Garcia. You saw the fight against Orlando Salido. You see Chris John, the veteran from Indonesia there. Daniel Ponce de Leon, a 44-win veteran. And then there is Billy Dib. As Teddy, you said it. If Gradovich was to get a shot, was to get one of the biggies at 126 pounds, well, this is the opportunity that he would want, and that he has now served up in front of him as they continue to work on both the left eye and the side of the head of Dib. Meanwhile, the confidence growing in the corner of the challenger. Championship rounds. 6 minutes to go.
championship rounds here. Right now, Gradovich feeling like the champion. But again, if I'm in the corner, that's what I'm telling him. See that little sneaky left uppercut? Dib through. If I'm in the corner, and this is where you need a good corner, I'm telling Dib, look, this guy, his strength is his weakness. Gradovich's strength right now is his weakness. He's got confidence. He's coming straight ahead. He's coming in a little reckless. Set yourself and take advantage of him coming in.
Reminder, Sports Center will follow this IBF title fight.
Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, break. Clean break. Clean break. Clean break.
See the way Gradovich, nothing fancy, Joe. Just, you know, you separate him, he's coming right back at you.
All right, break. Clean break. Clean break.
Now watch, they're going to separate him. I'll tell you what Gradovich's going to do. He's going to come straight in. And that's where Dib has to be ready to let his hands go. Not move his feet, but do that. Time him coming in. And try to make the punches a little straighter than the punches coming from Gradovich, and a little faster.
Dib connected moments ago, and then Gradovich came charging in again as Claudio separates him, as he has time and time again tonight.
This is going to come down. There's a minute and a half left in this 11th round. Who works better on the inside? Because they're both going inside. Right now, who works better on the inside? They both decide to grab a little bit. Referee is making them kind of fast now. I'd like to see the referee give him a little chance to work out of that.
Claudio was bothered enough in the 8th round to deduct points from each man for excessive holding. Oh, there's a good exchange there, and Gradovich sent Dib going back.
My question just got answered. Who's going to work a little more on the inside? Right now, it's the challenger. Right there, it was the challenger. Who's going to make silent agreements? Who's going to say, no, I'm not putting my name on that agreement. I'm not going to make an agreement to rest. I'm not going to make an agreement to tie up. I'm going to make a decision, a choice, to punch in the side and to be a champion. Right now, Gradovich looks like he's signed to that contract. And yeah.
Caught him with a sharp left hand. Both men sent off balance. Dib rushes right back in. Final moments of round number 11.
Who makes the choice on the inside?
Off balance as Dib was looking to score a left hand as Gradovich came in, but Gradovich had the two big moments here of this round. And the champ has to be a bit concerned. It's been that kind of night as 50 Cent looks on. He promotes Billy Dib, part of his new stable of fighters, as he has invested heavily.
Take a look at the action from that last round, especially at the end of the round. Left hook by both men, but then the right hand back by one man. The challenger maybe sooner be champion. There's a little sneaky right uppercut, but then the bigger punch, the right hand, landed by the challenger. And a left hook for good measure. A little bit of loss of balance there. Right hand by Gradovich gives a little ground, gets a little space, and gets two more punches off before he loses his balance a little bit there.
Commanding lead on Teddy Atlas's scorecard. Gradovich just 15-0, as we've said earlier tonight, ahead of schedule for a shot at the title.
What did I say in the second round? This could be a dangerous fight for Dib. Well, it's been a dangerous fight for Dib.
And you see the cut now around the right eye of Billy Dib that's opened up here as we start the 12th and final round. Could we have an upset? A new IBF titleist, blood streaming down the side of the face of the Australian Billy Dib.
Yeah, not a new cut, as we said very early in the fight. Dib came into this fight having been cut over both eyes in his last fight 7.5 months ago. You know, we talk about all the advantages that Dib had, the short notice that Gradovich took the fight on, but Gradovich had the advantage of having been in the ring only 3 months ago. 7.5 months.
Side judges see it the same way as Teddy Atlas and the fans at home.
think the referee can send the cleaning bill for his shirt to the new champion, maybe.
They're going to bring it home here. Final 20 seconds. You tell me if that's the face of a guy who just defended a title. Billy Dib, swollen, cut, bloodied. Evgeny Gradovich, hopeful that the judges saw it the way Teddy Atlas saw it. Do we have an upset, and will the belt move over to the Mexican-Russian? What a shot that was in the 12th round. ESPN Friday Night Fights is presented by Corona Extra, proud sponsor of Friday Night Fights, and as always encourages you to relax responsibly. And in part by Rent-A-Center. With the Rack Flex plan, you can get 90 days same as cash with no credit needed. And Verizon, living history as you make it. That's powerful. VZW.com/innovate. Good steady action throughout the night as Evgeny Gradovich was able to get to Billy Dib. And you, the viewer at home, on Facebook, live scoring, overwhelming support for the 15-0 Russian. As for Teddy Atlas, sitting ringside, Teddy says those championship rounds, an upset in the making, an upset delivered, 116-111. But how do the ringside judges have it? Billy Dib coming in, 35-win veteran, had defended the IBF belt 2 times, but Gradovich brought it to him. Let's send it to the ring to Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and we have a split decision. Judge Don Ackerman scores it 114-112 in favor of Dib. Judge Don Trella scores it 114-112 in favor of Gradovich. And Judge Glenn Feldman scores it 114-112 in favor of your winner and new IBF featherweight champion of the world, Evgeny, the Mexican-Russian Gradovich.
4 weeks ago, he returned to Russia to take a break, to take a little rest. He got a phone call saying you can fight for the title. Gradovich pulls off the upset. He's your new IBF champ, a split decision. They got it right this time, Teddy.
Yeah, thankfully, not with the help of that one judge that, again, I would like to see them bring him in. I would like to see a good commission tell that judge,